Well, good morning. It may not be morning where you are, but it's morning here on the farm, and it is almost the 1st of August, so it's super hot. So we wanted to get out here and capture things before the sun comes up. It's just about to rise over the trees, so we want to get started. I want to take you on a little garden tour, so come on. All right, so as I mentioned, it's pretty warm these days. Today is supposed to be 98 degrees with a heat index of like 112. So the flowers do tend to struggle a little bit when it gets that warm, even though we have a lot of warm season things growing. I still have some cool season flowers growing. This row especially, this is yarrow. Well, in the front is lemon basil. It's doing great. But the back row there is yarrow. And we've had a ton of rain lately, so it's really doing well. And then on the end of that row, we'll go down there in a little bit. I've got some celosia and I just pulled some glads. Now this is straw flower. Straw flower is not really a warm season plant, but I've got them planted for fall and they're just starting to bud out, and I'll come down and I'll cut real low to make them bush out. So by fall, we should have a good stand of straw flowers. Okay, moving on to the next row. And let me mention, I apologize for the background noise, but we've got the farmhand out here cutting today because we've got a bouquet class tonight, so we got to get all the grass cut. So pardon the noise. So this is what is left of our snapdragon bed. Now, snapdragons are definitely a cool season, and you can see we've been cutting on them. So I will come here and I will cut these all the way down here in another week or so, because they definitely struggle in the heat. But in the fall and in the spring, they'll be beautiful. All right, so now we're moving to the zinnias. Now the zinnias love warm weather, but you can see we've had tons of rain, and so it's caused this the leaves to get this little brown spot fungus on it, but it doesn't really affect the blooms. But I've got to come in here and deadhead. A lot of these are spent, so we'll just cut those off. But I did just cut some yesterday, so the pretty ones are in the cooler. Okay. All right, so let's walk down this row. I've got two 80-foot rows of zinnias. So we'll just walk down and see the different varieties we have growing. Fight all the spider webs. I do this every morning. Yeah, so all these need to be deadheaded and cut back. We cut twice a week on Mondays and on Thursdays. And so whether we have anything, a bouquet class or deliveries or whatever, we keep to that schedule, because the more you cut, the more they will bloom and continue to grow. But all these are already pollinated, so you can see that the petals are already starting to fall off, so I'll have to come and cut all these down. Kind of like a jungle down here. Now these are cosmos. They're about done for the season, so we're gonna come in here and cut these back and plant fresh for the fall. The rain just really has done a number on these, but we had a lot of production out of these beautiful white cosmos this year. Okay, so you can see that most of these zinnias have been pollinated, so we'll come in and clip all these off, but we do have some new blooms coming on. So got to keep them cutting and they'll come back again.
What's with the bags over some of these flowers?
Oh, this bag? That's a good question, Gabby. So if there is a variety of zinnia that I want to save the seeds for, but them not get cross-pollinated with the different colors so they'll stay true, I cover them with these little organza bags, and then I'll come in and I'll pollinate by hand from another one so you'll see, we'll talk about that more in another video, but you can see I've got a couple of them spread around, some varieties that I really like that I want to save the seeds for. We're actually going to be selling our seeds this fall at our market.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've had several people ask, so come through the jungle. This is a pretty guy right here. This one's called peppermint. Yeah, and you can see the rain has really done its number on the cosmos. If I didn't have this netting, they would all be on the ground. And then this was what's left of the bachelor buttons. They're also a cool season, so I'll cut these down and replant new ones in the fall for spring. Got a few of these guys still hanging on. But this is basically what the garden looks like in the heat of summer. I mean, it really, you know, the hot weather really takes a toll on it, on the cool season. So this row of zinnias I actually succession planted. So what that means is you stagger the plantings, so you have some that are more mature and some that are, you know, up and coming. So these were a little bit later planted than these. So especially these red ones, you can really see the height of them, and the blooms are a little bit fresher. Look at this guy right here. Ah, this is what you want right here. This is the perfect time to cut. Do the little wiggle test for zinnias. It's stiff, it's not wobbly like this. See how wobbly that is? That one's not ready to cut, but this one, look at that guy. It's beautiful.
Are you gonna cut that one today?
Sure. We'll do some cutting here in a little bit. So this was one of the beds that I just pulled. It had our gladiolas in it, but we're about to put our fall seedlings that I have growing in this bed. And same as this, we'll pull all this out.
What is this stuff?
This is called Queen Anne's lace, and I've got a couple of different varieties.
It grows all over Oregon.
Yeah, this is called Green Mist. This is just another little knockoff of
So a lot of the
Queen
ones I found in Oregon, though, they have like a red dot in the middle almost.
Anne's. Really? Oh, that's cool.
And I was curious if that's a bug or if that's part of like a specific type
yeah,
of
I'm
Queen
not sure.
Anne's.
It might be, huh? Yeah, I love the greens, the green mist. It has such a really cool smell to it.
It's
Isn't
pretty.
that pretty?
They're cool.
Yeah. The Queen Anne's lace is, this is Queen Anne's. It's about gone as well, so I'll cut it out. Now this is Gumphrina, and my Gumphrina is just taking over. It is so tall, and it's time for it to be cut back. And everybody, when we have our garden tours, they were like, what is that? That's so cool. So some people call it ball amaranth, but Gumphrina is what I call it. And I've got just a mix here. So it's pink, white, lilac, and this fuchsia color. And it actually makes great dried flowers. So what I don't sell, I harvest, and we've got a drying room that we hang a lot of the flowers. Straw flowers will dry. And so this fall we'll have some wreath classes where we work with dried flowers. So stay tuned for that. This is celosia. I'm also drying some of it. This guy is going to seed. Look at all the seeds inside of that. I like to call them the feather in the hat when we put these in the bouquet.
So where are we?
All right, so this is what we like to call the OG garden. This is the original little tiny section that we started with when we started the flower farm, and it's all raised beds and boxes. And I had tons of the cool season flowers planted in here, so there's a lot of beds that have just kind of gone, overgrown. We've begun pulling them. But I do have the dahlia patch in here. Even though dahlias love heat, they really don't like the heat that we have here in Florida. So we have shade cloth over those to just give them a little bit of afternoon shade and protect them from the sun. So let's walk through the dahlia patch. So even though the dahlias are blooming and producing and seem to be doing really well right now, they will really thrive. Excuse me, they will really thrive in the fall. In the fall, they'll become more lush. They just won't be quite under the stress that our Florida heat and humidity causes them. So they'll hang on, they'll do great, but then in the fall, you'll see them really just come to life. I love dahlias. One of my favorite things to grow. Yeah, so you can see just the rain that we've had and the humidity kind of stresses them a little bit. These need to be deadheaded. So But it's crazy. Our Florida weather, a few weeks ago, it literally rained every day, didn't it, Gabby?
For like 3 weeks.
It totally, like, I forget how many inches of rain we got. And so, you know, plants love rain, but they don't love that much rain. I did lose a few of the dahlias to root rot. Even though this bed drains good, it just, you know, they can't handle 20 inches of rain, you know. So I've got more dahlia tubers that I'll pop in their place once we get past this heat wave we're having this week. I did cut a lot of dahlias yesterday. Got some pretty yellow ones coming on down here. Look at that. It's going to be a huge bloom.
Ooh, that's going to be a big one.
And then we've got one more row down here that's dahlias. A lot of weeding goes on this time of year. Now these dahlias down here, most dahlias I grow from tubers, but these are actually grown from seed, and they seem to be really thriving. It's kind of surprising. Don't really know what you're gonna get, but they've just started blooming. Look how cool. Yeah. So these are seeds that I got from Florette. All of these dahlias right here. There's an apple blossom. So as you can see, our mint has totally overgrown the bed. It's so tall it's kind of laid over. So we'll come in and cut this back down, and it will come back beautiful. Probably in just a few days, because I'm telling you, this mint's 2 years old.
It smells so good.
It smells amazing. I have 3 different types of mint in here, and we use it in all of our bouquets. Our customers love the way it smells, so definitely love our mint bed. And this was carnations. We've already pulled those, ready for some fall planting. And everybody always asks what this is. This is called sedum, and this was from last year. It was kind of an accident that one got left in here, but look how much that one plant is producing this year. So it actually is a perennial here, so I'm just going to leave this guy. Now in the fall, these will turn all like a beautiful cranberry color. So, and this is what happens when you don't weed. This was a snapdragon bed that we just kind of ignored and let go because the snaps had already finished. So we'll have to come in here, and those weeds pull easily. It literally looks like a jungle, but we'll pull the net back, pull all the weeds, and then replant our snaps for the fall and spring. Oh my goodness. It's embarrassing that we've let that bed go. Same with this one. This is old snapdragons. So
you guys have more important things.
We have had a super busy season, so I am not complaining. I actually hired one of my granddaughters to help me in the garden this year because there's just no way I could do it all by myself. So, and this is what's left of our lisianthus. We've just about cut all of them, so these, we'll leave these guys. They'll overwinter, and in the spring they will be like this tall again. It's amazing how they come back. And this was also gladiolas. We had 1,000 gladiolas planted in here, and 1,000, yeah, they were beautiful. Yeah, so that's the thing about flower farming. People think you have to have like fields of flowers, but when you plant 6 inches apart for a lot of varieties, you can stick a lot of plants into one. This is a 30-foot bed, so you know, we had 1,000 gladiolas in a 30-foot bed, so you don't really need a lot of space. All right, so this is our 200-foot long wildflower patch, and it's literally just a mix that I purchased. It's got all kind of varieties. They're not really wild per se. They're zinnias and cosmos and bachelor buttons and marigold, just all kind of stuff. Oh, there goes Bubba. Hey, Bubba. He's one of our stray cats that we feed. Hey, Bubba. There's been a few varieties that have popped up in this wildflower patch that I really wanted to keep. And one of them is this off-white zinnia. If you can see it, I've got it bagged. It is like the most beautiful ivory color. That's cool. Yeah, I know, so I'm trying to save the seeds from that. But it's just been super, super hot, so we've kind of fallen back on our deadheading work. We're saving these sunflowers for seed, so look how cool that is. Did you ever know the sunflower seeds are under there like that?
No. What?
Yeah, isn't that cool? So, yeah, there's the
What?
seeds under there. There's something more mature. Yeah, sunflower seed.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap up this garden tour. Just wanted to show you what it's like in the heat of summer here and the pressure that the flowers are under. But, you know, that's all part of it. So we'll come back in the fall and show you, and it'll be much more lush, and we'll give you a tour again. So thanks for watching, you guys. And remember, bloom where you're planted.